The 15th of September of the year 2000 was signed the 49th Agreement of Economic Complementation between the Republic of Cuba and the Republic of Colombia. This agreement follows the guidelines of the Montevideo Treaty of 1980 and, on Colombia's end, the Agreement of Cartagena. This agreement has the following objectives: to ease, expand, diversify, and foster trade between Cuba and Colombia; to procure that bilateral network goes through a harmonized and balanced system of international trade; to strengthen the international exchange of goods and services. In the matter of market access, it is built around the principles of most favored nation and national treatment, meaning that tariffs for importation are reduced and imported products shall be treated same as the ones that are already in the market. Likewise, the parties can modify the list of products that were agreed for trading and must remove non-tariff barriers for listed products. These non-tariff barriers can entail any administrative, financial, exchange, or any other impediment for importing the agreed products. For the most part, these products are agricultural and agro-industry, as well as vehicles and energetic resources. The authorities for this agreement shall be the Ministry of Foreign Trade of the Republic of Colombia and the Ministry of Foreign Trade of the Republic of Cuba. In the matter of safeguard actions, each of the parts can apply the safeguard action when the circumstances show that national product is being affected by the one that's being imported. The safeguard action consists in the instauration of a tariff on the imported product while the circumstances are arranged so such product can be in the market without a tariff. This action should not take longer than a year or two, depending on how the importing country is handling the causes for the safeguard action. To submit a safeguard action, one of the parties shall request a reunion with the authorities of the agreement to communicate the causes and evaluate its implementation. The parts are still tied to what was agreed, but the safeguard action might exclude the imports from the other part when the market of the affected part has a grave nuisance. In the matter of unfair trade practices, in case there is a situation of dumping or subsidies that threaten the fairness of the agreement, the affected part can apply actions contemplated in its domestic legislation if it correlates with the Article 6 of the GATT of 1994 and the Agreement about Subsidies and Compensatory Actions of the World Trade Organization. Prior to this, the affected part that's stating the practice of unfair trade shall inform the other part and the producers involved about their actions. This is done for the sake of letting the other part know the situation and give a solution within law guidelines. In the matter of transportation, each of the parts shall internally foster actions that ease the transportation. For this, the domestic authorities shall make proposals for this matter and perform bilateral negotiations that they find convenient. In the matter of technical normalization, the authorities of the agreement shall review the normative that entails public health, phytosanitary barriers, and zoosanitary barriers, so these don't represent a liability for reciprocal trade. In the matter of investment, the authorities shall foster investment for the sake of creating economic association and organizations, and shall as well exchange information about investment opportunities. This is backed up by the Treaty of Promotion and Protection of Investment. In the matter of cooperation, each of the parts shall encourage the promotion of commercial cooperation through establishment of fairs and expositions, informative seminars, and other actions that highlight the opportunities of trading. In the matter of industrial property, each of the parts shall let be known the normative guidelines in its legislation about the protection of patent, brand, models, and industrial drafts. These guidelines likewise shan't be an obstacle for trade. We can conclude that regional trade is highly beneficial for economies at large. We can see the case of Cuba, a small economy whose main activity is tourism. But, according to the Nora magazine, its importations reached $12,340 million in 2016, which contributed to a raw GDP of $78,694 million. And, on Colombia's end, the amount of imported goods increased since the first agreement, making 4,550 goods able to access the Cuban market without tariff barriers.